When you come this video, you'll be on the verge of the first moments of 2024. This moment of silence and reflection is when we need to face the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. But first, let's take a moment to think about your 2023. You've lost important people in your life, and your friendships have broken up. Family problems made you feel alone and disconnected in your own life. You were looking forward to a journey of discovery and an adventure to new lands, but it was ruined by a serious accident that not only took away your chance to explore, but also gave you a serious health problem. Then your business plans ran into problems with fierce market competition and opposition from family and friends, making your dreams seem farther away. You have a new chance in 2024 to change your path and get rid of things that aren't helping you or aren't important. Sometimes letting go isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and wisdom. That's what today's video is all about. Based on the Stoic philosophy, here are 13 things you should quietly get rid of in 2024. These things will not only help you get rid of obstacles, but they will also help you become the best version of yourself. Don't miss anything. Just 2 of these 13 things will change your life in 2024. Number 1, do not look for praise from other people. Think about being in a meeting room full of people, with the lights shining on you and everyone's attention on you. The leaders and other people in the room all have an expectation or opinion about how you should present your ideas, how you should react, and even how you should feel. Can you feel the tension building in that small space? It's like being stuck in a glass box where everyone can see and judge everything you do and think. Realizing that you can't change other people's ideas or actions is very important. The only thing you can change is how you react, how you handle the situation, and most importantly, how you stick to your beliefs and principles. Look at this. When we count on other people's approval to decide how valuable we are, we give up the power to choose for ourselves. Every compliment, look, and like turns into a chain that ties our souls together and makes us slaves to other people's views. But remember that what matters most is how you see yourself, not how other people see you. Freedom comes from judging your own worth by things like honesty, integrity, and hard work. We need to learn how to live on our own, without depending on approval or validation from others. Instead of looking for approval from others, take the time to think about what you really want, how you see yourself, and what makes you proud. When you start to build and rely on your inner foundation, you will find true strength and freedom. Remember that freedom and self-respect are the most valuable things in life. When you stop looking for approval from others, you will open up a new horizon where you can freely pursue your goals and values, unburdened by criticism or the expectations of others. It's natural for people to want approval from others, but depending too much on praise from others can hurt your health and growth. Authenticity. If you're always looking for praise from other people, you might give up being yourself and being sincere. You might start to act in ways that aren't in line with your values and views because you want to please other people. Self-validation. Needing praise from other people to feel good about yourself can make you lose your confidence and self-esteem. To have a strong sense of self-worth, you need to learn how to praise yourself based on your own standards and accomplishments. Dependence. Looking for praise from other people can make you dependent on outside approval, leaving you open to changes in what other people think. This dependence can make it harder for you to make choices on your own and confidently go after your goals. Insecurity. Needing praise from others all the time can be a sign of deeper feelings of insecurity and not being good enough. It's important to deal with these fears on the inside instead of looking for approval from others as a quick fix. Growth. Real growth and happiness come from inside, not from what other people think. Accepting constructive comments and working on your own growth instead of looking for praise can help you grow and feel more fulfilled in life. Overall, getting praise from other people can be nice, but it's not a good idea to depend on it alone to make you feel good about your own worth. Authenticity, self-validation, and a focus on personal growth are important for living a happy and secure life. Number 2. Get rid of relationships that aren't good. People are born with many relationships, and as they get older, the number of relationships increases, but not all of them are healthy. There are some relationships that, if left untreated, can deteriorate our mental and emotional health and leave behind invisible and visible pain. If at the right time, for example in love, you start to feel unappreciated and unloved, you always have to compete and push the other person to keep the relationship going. This is a mistake that is not necessary for you. It not only hurts your soul, but it also affects your life outside the relationship. So what we need to do is break up the relationship that is not beneficial. Neither party will allow the relationship to waste your life or put unnecessary pressure on you. Instead, we focus on building a good relationship based on mutual respect and growth. Sometimes ending a relationship is not a failure, but a step towards building your life for the better in 2024. It's not about being quiet. It's about starting to hear your inner voice and putting your own needs first. Stoicism teaches us that we can only live a meaningful life by letting go of relationships that don't add value to it. If you want to live a meaningful life in 2024, I suggest that you be careful and thoughtful about the relationships around you. If you want to make your life more lasting and worthwhile, think about quietly ending toxic relationships. Have you been in any unhealthy relationships? What did you think about them? Number 3. Giving up hopes that are too high. We often have a lot of expectations for ourselves, other people, and life itself. But do we really need all of these hopes? The answer is that 2024 is a great year for you to quietly let go of these unnecessary hopes. In the story of Jack, a young college graduate who started working at a big company, he was told that he had to quickly move up and become a manager within 6 months. He put a lot of pressure on himself, working day and night to prove that he was worthy. The truth is that in this competitive workplace, advancement doesn't just depend on individual efforts. There are many other factors at play, such as timing. People who set unreasonable goals for themselves will feel stressed, anxious, and let down when they don't reach their targets. But if you let go of these unrealistic goals and instead focus on doing your current job well, you will learn from every experience and be happier and more free in your life. Let 2024 be the start of your journey. Having meaningful goals and being aware of life will help you live a happier, more meaningful life without having to deal with unneeded expectations. It's easy to catch ourselves setting too high of goals because we live in a world that often praises desire and success. Holding on to unrealistic expectations can make us frustrated, let down, and even burned out, whether we're trying to be great in our jobs, relationships, or personal projects. Learning to let go of these unrealistic goals doesn't mean settling for average, though. It means accepting a more balanced and satisfying way of living. Being accepting means realizing that it's okay to have hopes and dreams, but also that things won't always go as planned. Accept that life isn't perfect and that there are unknowns as part of the path. Reflecting on yourself. Think about what you expect and where those ideas come from. Do you do them because of social pressures, comparisons to other people, or your own feelings of insecurity? Figuring out the cause can help you change how you think and make your goals more attainable. Flexibility. Train your mind to be adaptable and flexible. Instead of being set in your ways about certain results, be open to other options and chances that may come up along the way. Change is a normal part of growing and developing, so be open to it. Focus on the steps. Change your attention from only caring about the end result to enjoying the process. Find happiness and satisfaction in the trip, even if you don't get what you want. Enjoy small wins and important steps along the way. Treat yourself with kindness when things don't go as planned. Instead of being hard on yourself and saying bad things to yourself, be kind to yourself. Be kind and understanding to yourself, the way you would treat a friend who is going through the same things you are. By using these lessons, you can learn to let go of standards that are too high and find more peace, fulfillment, and strength in your life. Remember that it's not about giving up on your dreams. It's about finding a better way to pursue them that will last longer. Number 4, dealing with people who hurt you. We need to learn how to protect our souls because conflicts and pain can come from anywhere. Stoic philosophy tells us that we can't change what other people do, but we can change how we react to them. Here are 4 helpful tips from Stoic philosophy that you should use to deal with people who hurt you. First, stay calm during attacks. Your own irrationality in response to other people's actions is often the source of the problem. Don't expect other people to be perfect, just accept this. Third, work on self-control. We should only worry about things we can change. Focus on getting better and don't let other people bother your peace of mind. Fourth, find life in the quiet. Stoicism doesn't tell us to shut down our hearts. Instead, it tells us to find joy and kindness in quiet and acceptance. Patience and calmness aren't just ways to protect ourselves from people who want to hurt us. They're also the building blocks of strength and depth in the soul. Let Stoic philosophy help you get rid of your weaknesses and build up your resolve. Give yourself hope and confidence in life, along with the peace and depth to deal with people who hurt you. Please like this movie if you agree with our point of view. Number 5, don't compare yourself to other people all the time. It's a bad habit that most of the time we can't break. We do it without realizing it, and it makes us doubt ourselves and our abilities. I believe you are swimming in the seas of your life, and sometimes it seems like everyone has their own ship. It's like you want to be better than everyone else, but also fear you're falling behind. Keep your mind on what's important, and remember that it's your journey sometimes. If you always compare yourself to others, you stop working on getting better and start saying things like, I want to be like they say, I want to be the best person I can be. Because of this, we need to work on growing and getting better every day. We are all flawed and have our own unique skills and weakness. We shouldn't feel bad about not being like someone else. Instead, we should love and accept who we are, thinking that the world would be a better place if everyone got up and worked on getting better. 2024. Every morning when you wake up, other builders are on my way, and you may remember that the most important thing is that I don't need to compare myself to other people. Stop comparing yourself to others and start appreciating your own unique thoughts. This will make you happier and more confident. Journey. I will stop comparing myself to others when you are ready to fight with me in 2024 to improve myself. Comparison is something that everyone does these days because everything is linked. Especially on social media, people often compare themselves to others all the time, which can make them feel bad about themselves and make them question their own abilities. But constantly comparing ourselves to others is not only bad for our mental health, it also stops us from growing as people and being happy. We'll talk about the deep reasons why it's so important to stop comparing ourselves to others and accept our own journey. Authenticity leads to happiness. When we compare ourselves to others, We often put on a front of conformity, where we put social norms ahead of being ourselves. True happiness, on the other hand, comes from accepting who we are and keeping true to our values and goals. Each trip is different. Life's journey is unique to each person and is shaped by their events, circumstances, and goals. When we compare our growth to someone else's, we miss the subtleties and complexities of our own paths. Instead of focusing on what other people have done, you should focus on your own progress and be proud of your own wins, no matter how small they may seem. The illusion of being perfect. Most of the time, comparisons are made based on superficial things like money, belongings, looks, or social standing. These comparisons, on the other hand, are false because they don't take into account all of human experiences and feelings. Looking for a perfect version of someone else's life will only make us unhappy and keep us from being happy with our own path. Developing empathy and compassion. Constantly comparing ourselves to others hurts our relationship with ourselves and our ability to understand how they feel. Comparison doesn't lead to real relationships. It leads to anger, jealousy, and a sense of competition. We can make real connections based on empathy, understanding, and kindness when we let go of comparing ourselves to others. Fostering growth and self-acceptance. When we accept how different we are, we can develop a growth mindset. In this mindset, we see obstacles as chances to learn and get better. We don't see failures as signs that we're not as good as other people. Instead, we see them as necessary parts of our own growth. When we accept and care for ourselves, we make room in our lives for real growth and happiness. In conclusion, breaking free from the chains of endless comparison is a freeing way to learn more about yourself and gain power. We can live a more satisfying and real life if we accept our differences, celebrate our successes, and make real connections with other people. Remember that you are unique and that your trip is yours to enjoy and treasure. Number 6. Unnecessary goals. The shining stars in the vast ocean of existence that is life. We are like definite ships always trying to set goals on our journey, but with so many options, do we really know which goals will give our lives the most meaning? In a society full of pressure and constant comparison, it's easy to get lost in the whirlpool of glamorous goals that don't connect us to our true selves. Some people may have thought that getting a new job would be a big step forward in their career, but if that job doesn't align with their core values and passions, they will only feel lost and unhappy. A fancy car may represent wealth, but it can't replace real, deep happiness in their soul. May make a good first impression, but they don't promise long-term happiness and peace in this materialistic age, where life is full of stress and constant comparison. Stoic philosophy brings up an important question. Do the goals you're working toward really reflect your core values and beliefs, or are they just rules that society and other people have put on you? Think about your goals for a while. Give up on goals that aren't important and won't help you reach your goals, and you can focus all your energy and heart on the things that matter. Focus and simplicity will bring you deep satisfaction in the things you do and the life you choose. We want to thank you and congratulate you on your arrival. Your presence here shows not only how determined you are, but also the path you have chosen. So focus your mind and soul on the upcoming revelations. Together we will talk about how to get rid of all your unnecessary worries and embrace a prom. Goals that aren't in line with our core values, priorities, or long-term ambitions are called unnecessary. These goals might take our attention away from what's important, use up valuable time and energy, and leave us feeling unhappy or like a failure in the end. When we realize that we don't need to reach certain goals, we can spend our time and energy on things that really help us grow and feel fulfilled. Values. Reflection. Ask yourself if a goal really shows what you value and what's most important to you. Why do you want to reach your goal? Does it fit with your long-term goals for yourself? If a goal seems forced or doesn't have any real meaning, it might not be important. Evaluation of impact. Think about what might happen if you try to reach your goal. Will it make your life and health better, or will it stress you out and take your attention away from other things that are more important? Looking at the effects can help you decide if a goal is worth following. Alignment with resources. Think about whether you have the time, money, skills, and other resources you need to effectively achieve a goal. If reaching the goal means making big adjustments or giving up things in other parts of your life, it might not be worth it or be possible to keep up. Adaptability and flexibility. If things change, don't be afraid to change your goals or let them go. It's possible for things that seemed important in the past to no longer be important or possible. The ability to change lets you set goals in a more flexible way and figure out what's most important. Focus on meaningful growth. Shift your attention to goals that will help you grow in a way that makes you happy and is in line with your values. You can find meaning and happiness in your pursuits by setting intentions that are deeply connected to who you are and what you want to become. By looking at our goals with a critical eye and focusing on what really matters, we can avoid setting goals that aren't important and live more fulfilling lives that are in line with who we really are. Number 7. Use of social media with awareness. Imagine that your life is a thick book with 16 blank pages, ready for you to write your own stories on them. This life is a journey full of possibilities and meaning, but social media can get in the way of your peace and creativity. Every time you click on a picture on social media, a million different stories start playing in your head. It's like watching an endless movie where you can always compare your life to someone else's. Every like and comment makes you feel good and bad, but can they take the place of the real feelings you have in real life? In fact, social media often shows a skewed version of other people's lives and doesn't show who they really are. We often compare our lives to others, which makes us set unrealistic goals and lose sight of who we are. But what if you could stop relying on social media by being aware of how you use it? You could clear your thoughts and look for real experiences. When you don't spend too much time on social media, you have more time to read books, learn new skills, or even relax in a useful way. Every weekend, Harry spends hours on social media. He sees pictures of his friends traveling and showing off their perfect lives, and he feels like he needs to live up to the standards set by others. After reading Harry's story, can you relate to similar situations? Do you constantly compare yourself to others and feel less than perfect in every way? If so, using social media intentionally, instead of idly scrolling through it, is very important. Focus on reading a book you've always wanted to read during that time. It will help you a lot with your personal and professional growth in 2024. Remember that happiness isn't measured by how many likes you get on social media. It's found in the small, beautiful moments of everyday life when you connect with family, friends, and most importantly, yourself. Making the choice to use social media less is the first step to reclaiming your life and finding true peace and meaning in a minimalist lifestyle. Number 8. Do not raise your voice. When we're in a tough situation, we often feel angry, frustrated, or tense. When this happens, we might raise our voice to vent our anger, but Stoicism teaches us a different way to deal with things, in a calm and controlled way. When we raise our voice, we often make things more tense around us, which not only makes things worse for ourselves, but also for everyone else. So, here's some advice for you. Not only does raising your voice show that you're losing control, but it also shows lack of respect in conversation. When we raise our voices, we lose the ability to listen and understand, so be respectful and speak and listen calmly. Getting rid of the habit of raising your voice is a big part of living a peaceful and meaningful life. It helps us stay in charge, have better relationships, and show the acceptance of Stoic philosophy. If you want to find peace and reason in every situation, focus on calm. If you've made it this far, leave a comment saying that you really want things to change in 2024. At times, it can be hard to stay calm in the middle of everyday life. Still, learning how to keep your cool doesn't just keep relationships alive, it also improves your own health. This is an interesting look into this very useful set of skills. Emotional control. Know that being angry or upset is often the cause of raising your voice. Figure out what sets you off and how to handle them effectively by learning to spot them. You could try deep breathing, being more aware, or pausing to gather your thoughts before answering. Effective conversation. Understand that yelling rarely leads to useful conversation. Instead, try to be clear and show understanding with others. Active hearing, paraphrasing, and using I statements are all ways to help people understand each other and solve problems without raising your voice. Putting limits on. Set clear limits in your relationships to avoid situations that could lead to arguments. Be cool and clear about your limits when you talk to others and encourage them to do the same. Setting respectful limits is the first step toward having good interactions based on respect and understanding. Looking for answers. Instead of getting angry, see arguments as chances to work out your differences. Focus on finding things you have in common and working together to find answers. Keep a positive attitude, even when things are hard, and support open communication to solve problems effectively. Leading by example. Always keep in mind that how you act affects other people. Show others through your actions how important it is to be cool and respectful when talking to them. People around you will be more likely to show kindness, empathy, and self-control if you do. This will help build a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Not raising your voice isn't just about controlling noise. It also shows how emotionally intelligent and socially skilled you are. Mastering the art of calm helps you make stronger connections, keep relationships healthy, and handle life's challenges with grace and respect. If you follow these rules, you'll see that your relationships become more peaceful and understanding. Number 9. Entering a territory often overlooked. Moving forward, setting goals, and being successful are all things that everyone is familiar with. But minimalism suggests a different way of understanding and appreciating what is often missed. In the rush of life to reach our goals, we forget the beauty in simple moments. In 2023, you clung to a busy work and life schedule full of pressure every day as you raced against time to reach your career goals and be successful. You set a series of you missed out on some important time with your family outside of work. Your family was always waiting for you at home, but you often forget about simple things like having dinner with them, talking about life, and even reading stories to your kids. Now take a look around. There is a world full of beautiful and meaningful experiences you have missed. Maybe you have never tried a new form of art or enjoyed a delicious meal at a family rest. Find peace and cherish the moments that matter in your daily life. These moments don't have to be perfect or loud. They just need to be important and full. Number 10. Don't tell other people what you think. As the use of social media grows and our lives become busier, you may come across these cases when you join an online debate about a subject that supports your point of view, even though you have thought about it and can explain it. What holds you back, and the fears that are part of this system. Making it a habit to share your thoughts is easy to do, but it gives you and those around you a real purpose that is worth doing. You can share your thoughts without putting them on the scale, and urges that we do this. We often feel compelled to share and criticize our own thoughts, but grit teaches us that true power lies in self-control, and that our remaining external judgments should not be a source of terror to others through criticism rather than speaking from the heart. This is not only to keep our inner peace, but also to awaken to what is hidden. When we don't raise our voices to judge, we make space for understanding. Imagine a world where friends don't blame and criticize each other. Instead, in the year 2024, this is a world based on self-control and compassion, to listen and take the time to understand. Start your journey of breaking the habit of passing judgments and climbing the path of Stoicism by using silence as a path. It's a sign of how strong you are and a good way to help make the world free of criticism and judgment. In a world full of different ideas and points of view, it's important to be sensitive and thoughtful when having talks. One important thing to learn is that you shouldn't tell other people what you think. It might seem safe to say what you think, but it can cause problems, misunderstandings, and even hurt feelings. Instead, being careful and understanding when you talk to people can help build stronger ties and make the world a better place to live. Accept for other people's points of view. If you don't force your opinions on other people, you show that you accept their right to be independent and have their own thoughts. A society of tolerance and understanding grows when people understand that everyone has their own thoughts and feelings. Avoiding pointless conflict. Giving your opinion without being asked can lead to fights or disagreements, especially if the other person has a different opinion. Deciding not to share your thoughts with everyone can help you avoid arguments and keep the peace in your contacts. Respecting privacy and boundaries. Some topics are very private or touchy, and not everyone may feel safe talking about them in public. Respecting someone's privacy means not giving them your view unless they ask you to. This helps them keep their boundaries and builds trust. Active listening means not giving your view away. This will help you focus on listening carefully to what other people have to say. Active listening helps people understand and care about others more, which leads to deeper, more meaningful talks. Building connection and empathy. If you don't force your views on others, you make room for empathy to grow. You can build better relationships and a sense of unity among people who have different points of view if you truly try to understand them without judging or being biased. Communicating clearly is important for building relationships and understanding in today's world. Being careful about how you say what you think is a useful skill. You can help make society more accepting and peaceful by understanding other people's points of view, avoiding pointless arguments, respecting limits, practicing active listening, and developing empathy. So, the next time you feel like talking, remember how powerful silence can be and how important it is to talk in a thoughtful way. Number 11. Don't talk badly to yourself. There is nothing worse in life than blaming yourself. It's like a monster that sneaks up on you and destroys your self-confidence and willpower. It's the voice inside your head that keeps taunting you about your flaws, mistakes, and weaknesses. Sometimes it's even stronger than the voices of the outside world. But we can't let it take over our lives. Stoicism says that blaming ourselves is a demon that needs to be slain because it hurts our spirits and keeps us from going forward. So how do we slay this demon? Let's look at Sarah's story. A young woman who works in a field with a lot of pressure and competition always feels like she's not good enough and blames herself for small mistakes whenever she has a problem. She starts to blame herself, telling herself things like, "I'm so stupid. Why can't I do something so simple?" She lets this voice take over her thoughts, which makes her feel even worse about herself. But Stoicism tells her the steps she can take to stop blaming herself. First, we need to recognize the voice that is blaming us. We need to listen to the words and write them down. We don't want them to keep repeating themselves. Next, we need to confront them with logic. Ask them if their self-blame makes sense. Most of the time, they will say no, saying that their negative thoughts are just imaginations. Finally, we need to replace their negative thoughts with positive ones. Tell yourself you're strong enough to get through any problem and learn from any mistake. When you live in the world of Stoicism, faith and reason will beat self-blame. Even though it's not easy, when we get rid of self-blame, we take back control and start walking the way to spiritual freedom and strength. Stop being mean to yourself to show that you are determined. It's easy for negative self-talk to sneak up on us and hurt our health and confidence. The voice inside our heads is what restricts, criticizes, and discourages us. But realizing this bad habit and doing something about it can change things. We can improve our mental health, growth, and resilience by being kind to ourselves and having a good conversation with ourselves. Being aware. Notice when you're talking badly to yourself. Pay attention to the words you use to yourself and how they make you feel. Being aware is the first thing that can lead to change. Challenge. Ask yourself if your bad thoughts are really true. Ask questions about the information that supports them and look at things from different points of view. When we criticize ourselves, we often do so based on ideas that aren't true. Self-compassion. To stop bad self-talk, work on being kind to yourself. Be kind and understanding to yourself the way you would treat a friend who is going through the same things. Accept that you are not perfect and learn to forgive others. Reframe. Change your bad thoughts into ones that are more positive and based in reality. Rather than, "I always mess up," say, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it." Stop judging yourself and start focusing on growth and strength. Practice gratitude. Being thankful can help you deal with negative thoughts. Regularly think about your skills, what you've accomplished, and the good things in your life. Being thankful can help you think more positively and appreciate what you have. Using these tips and encouraging a kind inner conversation can help you deal with negative self-talk less effectively, which can lead to more self-acceptance, strength, and personal growth. Don't forget that you deserve to be kind and patient, especially to yourself. Number 12. Excessive consumption. True freedom is not giving in to your wants, but being able to control them. Our love of stuff and wanting too much has made the world a strange mix of sorrow and meaninglessness. We shop without thinking, follow the crowds of fake happiness, and try to find it. Minimalism has taught us that the way to real happiness is not through instant gratification. We need to stop and think about what's important in our lives. We need to face our own greed and refuse to ignore it. Giving up everything isn't part of living a simple life. It's about making smart decisions about what really matters. To clean our minds, we get rid of things that aren't serving us. Remember that loving things can't hide the fact that your soul is unhappy. We need to face our greed head-on, clean it up, and walk the path of peace. That's where we can find true freedom and happiness, not in having more things, but in knowing ourselves and living by the true values of life. Number 13. Putting things off. Time moves very quickly through life, but we know that every moment is valuable because we are always fighting procrastination. Procrastination always lurks, ready to pull us into the whirlpool of laziness and delay, but Stoicism teaches us that discipline and strong determination can beat it. We must never give up in this great battle against procrastination. Our goals must always be clear and detailed, and our plans must be carefully thought out. We must never accept procrastination as an option. Our weapons in this battle are focus and self-discipline. Value your time and don't let it slip away in vain. Through patience and persistence, we will not only reach our goals, but also win the battle against time. Delaying or putting off chores, even though you know they will have bad results, is a common behavior called procrastination. Putting short-term pleasure or comfort ahead of long-term goals and responsibilities is a common sign of this. While putting things off once in a while is normal, doing it all the time can really slow you down, make you more stressed, and stop your personal and professional growth. Figure out why you're putting things off. There are many reasons why people put things off, such as fear of failing, needing to be perfect, not being motivated, or not being able to handle their time well. Finding out why you keep putting things off is the first thing you need to do to stop doing it. Break up big tasks into smaller ones. Putting off big or scary tasks is a common way to waste time. To avoid feeling overwhelmed and boost motivation, break them up into smaller jobs that you can handle. This way of doing things makes it easy to start and keep going. Set goals and due dates. Making clear due dates and clear attainable goals can help you stop putting things off. Setting goals and deadlines gives you a sense of pressure and direction. Make sure your deadlines are reasonable and make sure you stick to them. Develop self-discipline. Lack of self-discipline and willpower is a common cause of putting things off. Develop habits that help you be more self-disciplined, like making a schedule, learning how to handle your time well, and staying away from things that will distract you. Over time, these habits can make it easier for you to say no to putting things off. Be kind to yourself. Beating yourself up over past times you put things off only makes the loop worse. Instead, be kind to yourself by remember that everyone puts things off sometimes, and that failure is a normal part of learning. Please be kind to yourself and concentrate on making good changes going forward. We've talked about 13 things you should quietly get rid of in 2024 if you want a better life. But the journey doesn't end there. You have to take action too. Every step you take helps you build a meaningful life and inner peace. Let's share these valuable lessons together. If you found this information helpful, please like and share the video and leave a comment below. Your feedback and personal experience will inspire others on their journey.